Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. We'll have to look at some sporting stories trending in the world of sport as we start with Blessing Okagbare issue concerning the doping issue concerning how, well, from the way it is right now, the Athletics Integrity Unit actually made a statement on Monday concerning Blessing Okagbare. Well, we'll be looking at that and some other stories trending. Joining me to talk sport this evening is Taufik Lawal. Good to have you, Taufik.
Good evening, sport fans. Thank you.
And also I have Ibrahim Yusuf here. Yusuf, you look like a Chelsea fan.
Do I? Always nice to be here.
Good one. Yes, let's roll at least. Let's talk about some sporting stories now. Blessing Okagbare issue right now is generating a lot of interest from Nigerians who are right now not too happy for the fact that another year has been added to the 10-year ban actually put on top of this lady's career because of the fact that, well, she was found wanting for the evading anti-doping violation. Actually, she violated their anti-doping rules now. But from the way it is, another year added to it, and the Nigerian quartet of 4x100-meter women that are supposed to run at the World Athletics Championship will not be able to do so because they've been disqualified due to the fact that Blessing Okagbare, who was part of that qualifying race, has now been found wanting, and it means the entire quartet of Nigeria will not be competing in Oregon. Now let's look at the Athletic Integrity Unit statement concerning Blessing Okagbare, as they actually stated what happened about her. Well, AIU adjudged Okagbare to have tested positive for human growth hormone in one of the out-of-competition drug examinations she did in Slovakia on June 19 and was slammed with an indefinite suspension. She was thereafter handed 3 separate anti-doping charges in October 2021. AIU further charged the Nigerian with evading sample collection and tampering or attempted tampering with the doping control process. Consequently, AIU, that is Athletic Integrity Unit, extended Okagbare's initial 10-year ban by a year, meaning it's now 11-year ban now for Okagbare. All individual and relay results involving Okagbare from June 13, 2021 are now disqualified under the rules. In a relay team, if one member violates the anti-doping rules, everyone bears the brunt of results being expunged. They all pay the price. In this instance, Nigeria has lost an important qualification spot. Those are the rules, and we will not compromise on integrity. Coming from, well, that's the head of AIU, that is Athletic Integrity Unit, Betty Claudia, saying they will not bend concerning that particular rule. Well, Blessing Okagbare, Ibrahim, looking at this situation, well, I saw the Jaliu's statement that it's unfair and all that, but I love the fact that the likes of Chioma Ajunwa, who has been there, who has won everything, winning gold medal and all that, said, well, Okagbare stays abroad. She should know better what she eats, everything she takes inward, and also the fact that the man at the middle of this whole situation, they call him Eric Kira, who, although they wrote self-acclaimed kineologist, says is always the one giving drugs to these athletes to enhance their performance. And then Ajunwa said, well, you know why participating in it. Why? You stayed abroad, you are not staying in Nigeria. I will say, okay, somebody can just brainwash you. You are an experienced athlete. So the Jaliu saying, well, it's unfair. Chioma Ajunwa saying, well, she knows this. Why did you participate? Because she herself was there. She experienced the same thing and she took the blame on herself.
Well, although I respect Zinchenko as an athlete and as a person, I really do respect him, but I disagree with him on this one. She broke the rules. It's just plain and simple. The rules are actually there to ensure fairness and competitivity between athletes. You broke the rules. Whether it was a mistake, whether it was not, whether you did it knowingly or unknowingly, the rules were broken. Somebody got suspended or banned from what he ate. His mother brought food to him. They didn't know it contained a banned substance. He ate it and he got banned for that. So there's really no excuse for it. These are rules that are cross-board for everybody. It's not just her. She wasn't singled out for anything. She knows the rules. Just like you said, this is where she stays. This is where she trains. She has been a veteran athlete. She has been there for years. She definitely knows the rules. And if those rules get broken, then definitely you have to pay the penalty. Unfortunately now, some of our other athletes are paying the price along with her, because the other three completing quartet in our relay team, they had nothing to do with it. But now they are in it because she was part of the qualifying team, and as far as they're concerned, she cheated, and everybody pays the brunt. So I really want to disagree with DJLU. She did not. She broke the rules, and definitely she has to face the consequences of her actions.
Good one there. And now look at, just citing the case of Andre Onana, the goalkeeper of Cameroon.
Exactly.
Just because he mistakenly picked the drug that was meant for his wife.
And
he took it. And it tested
there was a
positive.
banned substance.
He was banned for 1 year.
Exactly.
So nobody was like, oh, it was a mistake. I mistakenly take the... Nobody wants to know. So fire is in your body. It actually enhances you to perform better than other footballers or anyone on that pitch. Now, Taufik, looking at this situation, yes, we know she's a Nigerian. A lot of people are like, okay, nobody's leaving her to her own issue or whatever happens now. But her fate right now is the fact that another year has been added to the 10-year ban. That means for the next 11 years. I'm sure the best thing right now is just to face maybe any other thing in business or athletics. You understand? Because in the next 10 years, I don't know if you have the strength to still compete again. Chioma Ajunwa actually, she has the experience. She can relate with concerning the situation. She was also banned. And she said, well, during her time, because she was in Nigeria, she doesn't even know most of these things. And now we are in an advanced level where technology has made it so easy. Email are sent out every day, every minute. Check your mail, know that these things are banned. And situation whereby you know, and you still go ahead or went ahead to take it. That means one way or the other, you are found culpable. So you have to be dealt with.
So, like he said, rules are rules, and they need to be, respected. And she knows a lot about these things. That there are some things, there are some rules that you don't break. If you break them, you'll be penalized, and that's what has really happened. And at 33, I don't know if she will still be able to come back to this sport again. She should look beyond this career and make another thing for herself. Though she's supposed to know a lot about this because she has won, she's Olympic gold silver medal, Olympic Games silver medalist. She has won All African Games for. So coming from that angle, she should know much about these things. So maybe, but for now, I just think that it should not be left to her fate. Maybe they should reach out to her so that, at this point in time, she will be depressed.
She needs people around her.
She needs people around her. The leadership of AFN should reach out to her. She have won something for Nigeria, and this is the time to rally around.
This is time to rally around. Blessing Okagbare. Yes, the deed has been done. Nothing can be done to change that. But from the way it is, it's high time that athletes should actually learn from this. Don't listen to most of these agents that tell you to take this, take that, and now that has landed Okagbare in trouble. Well, we just hope that she'll be able to at least find peace and stand strong. Well, Nigerians just need to support her now, despite the fact that the mistake has been made. Well, so painful. The quartet of those, the ladies that will be running at the World Athletics in Oregon will not be able to do so because of the mistake that was done. Although we benefited from such before. I still recall at the Olympics where one of the American race actually tested positive. They had to relinquish their gold medal, and it has to come down, still down to Nigeria. But a good one. We just hope that everything goes well with Blessing Okagbare and the AIU. Now we move away. Let's talk about Otasolo. Otasolo plays in the Nigerian National League, NNL. Recently, they actually made a statement that they are backing out from playing in the Nigerian National League. Well, just yesterday, the same team rescinded their decision to pull out of the Nigerian National League, although they cited the way the league is being handled. That was why they opted out. And looking at the way it is, they are back because they said most of the things they raised now it has been dealt with. So that's why they are coming back to continue their games.
Well, it's nice to actually see things like this. If clubs, club management can actually find or see that things are not being done the way they're supposed to be done, and then they raise an alarm, and these issues are dealt with, if they are seriously dealt with, then I think it's a way for us to actually improve our league, improve the league standard, because we're always talking about it. Our league is not where it's supposed to be. All our leagues, they're not where they're supposed to be. We're supposed to be doing better. We're supposed to have a better product to show out there to a lot of people, mostly because of the way things are done, officiating, how we manage our equipment and all that. Most of these things are not being done the way they are. So if I think team management and the management of individual soccer teams can actually come to the fore and say, okay, fine, we don't we don't agree with how this is done, and this is done, then they can come down, sit down, and have a roundtable discussion and find solutions that can actually work for everybody.
Okay, now, Taufik, you look at the fact that Otasolo, they actually raised some very valid points concerning the league. Just like Ibrahim said, the way we run our league is somehow, it's just so painful that you see a lot of crisis, a lot of issues here and there, and that's why they are backing out. But now they say, okay, if you guys agree that some of these problems that we raised, if you can solve some of them, we'll be back, and now they are back.
No, I'm happy that they are back because they've raised vital issues and which has been resolved. So the fact that they are back will even help some of their players who are, who want to further their career abroad, and it's good for them. And I want to call on the leadership of football authority in the country to do the right thing. When we do the right thing, we get the right results. And when we get the right results, the image of the country will go far.
It will go far. Looking at the NNL, Nigerian National League, where Otasolo FC of Lagos, they backed out earlier on for the fact that they did not like the way the league was being run, and now they are back because they're happy that most of the points they raised has been attended to, and they hope that it will continue. Well, a lot of clubs in Nigeria that are actually private clubs are not so happy for the fact that, well, our football is dominated by the state supported teams. But from the way it is, hopefully we'll get it right. We really need to do a lot in case of insecurity, fracas here and there, over there in different states across Nigeria. You see fights almost every day. You hear about attack, violence concerning referees and all that. But we just have to work on this and sensitize our fans concerning football. It's not a do or die affair. It's just a sport that you need to make money from and also have a joyful heart, not to have a lot of bruises here and there. Now let's talk about another one. Looking at the fixtures for today in the Nationwide League One, matches will be coming up. This as we speak right now. All these games will be on Beyond Limit. We'll be playing against Ladegua FC, Osopadek versus Feyinti FC, Malvern Football Club, play host to Setraco FC of Abuja, Basira FC of Lafia will be playing against Oyebe FC, also of Lafia, Melantaki Care versus Fieldan FC, while Kano Stars, they play away to ABU Workers, Standard FC hosts Zoo United, Superstar Shaker will be at home against Giordano, while Barretta will be playing against Flash Flamingos. Makwada Warriors will be hosting Binani FC over there in Adamawa State. Good one there. Look at all these teams they'll be playing, and in fact, a lot of games will be coming up in NLO, but at least you have to pick some for you to have a feel of those games. When you look at NLO, I think to some extent I see them as being a bit more organized than even the other league, the upper leagues, because the way they run their league, the way they plan everything. Just yesterday they rolled out, if you are buying any player from Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, these are the rules. They quickly roll it out. Don't think because you click, know these rules, because there was a time some clubs actually acquire some players, and those players have played in the league that they were not supposed to play, and they still feature them. It's a sanctioned issue, and that's why they roll out that, which you don't seem to see in other leagues. And then the way they actually plan their league, to just always ringing the rules and regulations to all the member teams.
Well, you see, one of the most interesting things about the NLO is when you look at the teams that are actually involved, the bulk of them are privately owned.
Not like the MPFL.
The bulk of them are privately owned. So these are people that actually know what business is all about. They are treating it as a business, which is exactly the way we're supposed to treat our football. That is why I'm really excited when I look at the NLO and I see how they are actually doing things now.
There's no government team here.
Exactly.
Everything is private. All the one we mentioned.
They are actually privately owned. So they are running it as a business, which is exactly how we're supposed to see it. So definitely if they see something going wrong, they will come together and make a decision on it so that they can be able to fix their business. That is how it's supposed to be. I just look forward to a period of time whereby the MPFL can be something like this, whereby it could be a money-making venture that we know it is. It is a money spinner, but we're just letting it waste, just like that. With proper packaging, proper branding, proper rules, and setting up the right guidelines. And how much will it take? It doesn't take much for us to do that. Get some sponsorship deals, get some TV rights, and you're there. You understand? So that's why I think the NLO actually have a better standing than most of the leagues, just like you talk about, because most of them are privately owned, if not all of them.
And now you look at the fact that what happened that it seems the MPFL right now is majorly government owned. Few, just maybe Remo Stars and MFM private. Every other team seems to be state government owned teams. And you look at NNL, especially NLO, bulk is private. Then how come that in the MPFL it's so difficult to allow the private
and it wasn't
clubs to stay?
But the thing is, you see, what pains you the most is this wasn't like this before. Back in the days when we had when we had Ranch Bees, we had Abiola Babes, we had Julius Berger,
BCC Lions,
we had Leventis United. These were privately owned football teams that actually made waves back then, and they were doing very well. At the end of the day, everything just went pear-shaped, and the only way we can be able to go back to that or take our league to the way it's supposed to be is by going back to that particular model.
How do we go back, Taufik?
I think it's true that we go back to the good olden days, because then things were working perfectly well for us, and the likes of Leventis United, Com Oil, Julius Berger, they were giving us good representation, because these are business people, they are business minded, they know what it entails to invest in football. We give them a good return for their money. But for now, we are not really doing the right thing at this point in time. So it is high time for us to go back to the good olden days. Then the players too will definitely benefit from this if we do the right thing.
And what is the right thing that we need to do? Because this MPFL being dominated by government-owned clubs, and you look at the lower leagues, we have much private. Then in the upper league, there is no way you can find much of the private.
The right thing to do, like I said, is let the private people be more involved in football or in sports generally, because if you go outside Nigeria, specifically Europe, government are not really involved in sports, and you have private people there. The Chelsea, club like Chelsea, Man, you are not government owned, and they are doing very well. So why can't we apply the same thing here in Nigeria or replicate that?
But you see, the problem is you need to attract these private people. They can't just come and sink their money into something that they know they're not going to get returns on.
Yes.
We need to repackage.
They can't be wasting
we
their
need to
money.
repackage the league, first of all. We need to rebrand it. We need to have something to sell. I always say this. When we have something to sell, we rebrand, we repackage, make it attractive, get sponsors to actually do this thing, sell TV rights. It is that TV money that you actually share among these teams. When they know that if I invest 20 million and I probably end up in the top 4 of this league, I'm going to get like 80 or 100 million back. Why won't I put my money there? Governments, they can afford to operate at a loss. They can afford to do that. Most of them, there's no accountability. They just push money there and it goes down the drain. But you bring in a private investor who knows that at the end of the day, if my team does well, I'm going to get a colossal amount of money. You can imagine the team that gets relegated from the Premier League, you can imagine how much they actually get for finishing 20th.
Of course, the money is enough to buy maybe all the old MPFL.
Exactly, you understand? See, the team that get relegated for coming 20th, they get a colossal amount of money.
The TV right, the jersey sale, everything.
Exactly, because that's how it is. How many times will you say, okay, fine, when you walk on the streets, how many people will you see wearing Nigerian team kits? How many? They are not there.
That's why we just have to make it attractive, just like you said. Repackaging, it means, well, all you need to do is work on the decision making of how to rebrand Nigerian league. Because, for example, if you know that, oh, this particular team is flying, maybe only 1 or 2 teams are actually flying in Nigeria, Rivers United, and maybe 1 or 2.
That's the thing.
They go by road.
That can afford to do it.
Yes, they go by road and it's not secure.
It's not.
The road is not good. It's not also secure. They run around, and by the time they get from Enugu to Maiduguri to go and play,
they're tired.
And they are playing the next day. What do you expect? They won't be able to give their best. And also, issue of salary is also there, paying them as at when due. And a lot of issues here. And look at the refs. A lot of them are always shouting they've not been paid their due indemnity and all that. So we need to work on all the. If these things are working well, then the private sector can say, okay, I can put my money here, and I know that at the end of the day, if my team can make top 4, we are earning more. And even the last 20, we are still earning something. Exactly. It's not a waste. Which also that we do it right in Nigeria. Quickly, we have to look at some transfer stories, news here and there concerning players moving. Let's look at Tottenham Hotspur to seal a £100 million deal with Everton for Richarlison and under-21 winger Anthony Gordon. Those are the 2 players that Tottenham Hotspur are looking at getting right now. Well, Richarlison has been a wonderful player for Everton, and right now the Spurs are really trying to see how they can get him alongside Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon, young boy, man of 21, and he's doing so well with Everton. Well, Spurs are looking for the two, and now still looking at another one. PSG agrees personal terms with Skriniar, Leeds midfielder Renato Sanchez, and you have Gianluca Scamacca of Sassuolo. Those are the three players, although personal terms, not club terms. So it's still open. Anything can still happen because it has not been done yet. It's just personal terms. They agree with those three players. And also Chelsea have eyes on Ukrainian Alexander Zinchenko, Nathan Ake, and also Inter Milan defender, the same player that PSG had an agreement with personally, Milan Skriniar. Well, Chelsea, let's look at that Chelsea before we wrap it up. Ibrahim, Chelsea are actually knocking at the door of getting Milan Skriniar, not forgetting Zinchenko, and also Nathan Ake.
Well, it seems like they have identified where they had problems. I think we discussed it on this same program where Chelsea need to strengthen. Their defense line has been decimated right now. You know, Christensen has left, Rudiger has left, and they actually need people to replace those guys. Milan Skriniar is a fantastic player. He flies under the radar, most people, also like because he plays in the Serie A. Not a lot of people watch the Serie A, but Milan Skriniar is an exceptional player. Nathan Ake is also a good player that can actually come in and can play as a wing back as well. So I think their recruitment process is actually good.
Now, lastly, Taufik, well, from all these transfers, I'm sure it's getting juicy.
It's getting juicy. I'm not surprised that Richarlison is in the market because you know what he did for Everton last season. They almost got relegated, but he singularly, brought the team back to the Premiership, and here we are. So I'm not surprised he's going to Chelsea.
Good one there. That's it on 360 Sport. Good to have you on the show. It's Taufik Lawal.
Thank you very much.
And Ibrahim Yusuf, thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.